Hello everyone, welcome to another video of PS Does Book Reviews. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite authors, Neil Gaiman, and his series Sandman. This particular book is The Dream Hunters. It's a graphic novel, but more like illustrated book than actually comic format sort of thing, and it's the 30th anniversary edition. This was originally released on the 10th anniversary of Sandman, and it was now reissued 20 years later for the 20th for the 20th anniversary of Sandman. They actually released a comic version of the same story, The Dream Hunters, which I already had read before, but I never had gotten the original one with illustrations by Yoshitaka Amano, so I took this opportunity of the 30th anniversary release or re-release to get it, and it was quite worth getting it. The story behind this, it's mentioned on the afterword, but I'm gonna summarize it a little bit here. So the original idea for doing this Dream Hunters story started actually when Neil Gaiman was doing the English dub version of Princess Mononoke for Studio Ghibli. They were planning this big release. They needed it to be translated into English, and they went for one of the best people who writes this kind of fantasy world with mythology and stuff like that. So doing the research for Princess Mononoke, Neil Gaiman read a lot of Japanese history and mythology and that kind of things. And he noticed some similarities to... There was this particular character in this particular story that seemed to be like the character in Sandman, his Sandman, which he had concluded already at that point. When they were doing the 10th anniversary special one-time issue of Sandman, he had this idea to pick up that story and adapt it to the Sandman world, his own Sandman world, and that's how the story of the Monk, the Fox, and the King of Dreams ended up being part of the Sandman series. So this version in particular has artwork by Yoshitaka Amano. As I mentioned before, it's really good artwork, so it's really worth getting. You can see the quality here. It's mostly one page of text and one page of illustration. Sometimes they vary a little bit. And yeah, it has a lot of the original Sandman elements. You can, if you follow the series, you understand them. If you haven't followed the series, sort of get the story anyways, which is good. It works as a standalone if you really want it, but you really get more out of it if you already know the series and all the references to the three witches and being a bigger fox, like the dream world is considered a big fox, or the night itself. All of those little details really add up to create a more convincing realism on the story. I had forgotten a little bit about the whole storyline, so it was good to revisit it. The first chapter feels very typical Japanese, and only after that starts creating some sort of arc into the Sandman lore that I was more familiar with. Overall, I really liked it. I recommend it to everyone who likes Gaiman and Sandman in particular, or Japanese mythology. It has some interesting... It touches a lot of Japanese mythology here as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you already read this or if you haven't. I'm a big fan of the whole Sandman series. Have all of the issues, I think. So if you want to talk about that, feel free to post about that as well. See you next time. Bye bye everyone. Take care.